And Dave, let's move on. The next topic we're talking about is the Portland Trail Blazers. And there's one thing I forgot to mention at the top of the show.
Oh, is there?
That I wanted to quickly get out there. You know, Adam Silver said it this week on Inside the NBA.
Yeah.
The NBA community, we're all a family.
We are.
Players, Adam Silver,
staff,
coaches,
media.
staff, even us who do podcasts on the NBA.
Yeah.
And although we don't know him personally,
He listens.
what he's going through
He listens.
is absolutely horrible. And I wanted for me, for you, for Sean.
Yep.
I want to throw, even though I've never met him, he'd be a great guy to meet one day, have on a podcast.
He seems fantastic.
I want to throw my condolences out to the big Shactus. Shaquille O'Neal. I don't know what, I know me and my sister aren't on the best of relationship, but still, I don't know how I would feel if I lost my sister.
You went from Adam Silver to Shaq. I'm very confused.
Because Shaq lost his sister this week.
What does that have to do with Adam Silver?
Because Adam Silver said when they were talking about Inside the NBA, we're all a family.
I was like...
and that's where I was bringing us into it, because we're not in the NBA, but we talk about the NBA. We're a part of this family of podcasters, media, players.
I got you now.
And just wanted to throw our condolences out to the big Shactus.
Yep.
Because I don't know what the hell it would feel like to... Not at that point yet where I've lost a family member, knock on wood. Like one that's like...
Direct family.
So I just wanted to throw those condolences out there. I forgot to at the beginning of the podcast. Wanted to make sure we do it going into this segment. But what we're talking about is the Portland Trail Blazers. And the reason why we're talking about them is not only did Sean kind of hot take this a little bit, which kind of brings that back into it. If you have not checked out our preseason hot takes, you should. But CJ McCollum, in an essay published by the Players Tribune, he set NBA titles expectations for the Blazers in the Western Conference. He calls ours for the taking. Here's the exact quote. Our goal is to win a championship, not to build towards it, but to make it to the NBA Finals and win the whole thing. We've put the work in, we know what it takes, and we know what we have. He also goes on to say, I think that in past years, we might have been a little hesitant to say that we're trying to win a championship. We've always had that mindset, but we've never been very vocal about it. I guess it's because outside of Portland and in the media, people haven't put us in that conversation. So it's like nobody had given us permission. What? Well, I can tell you right now that we don't need permission.
Ooh.
So, and he's also coined the mantra title or bust for the Blazers this year. So I want to ask you, Dave, the exact question we're going with is CJ McCollum right about the title or bust mantra for the Blazers, or has he been listening to Sean Anderson too much and believes they're going to get Blake Griffin via a trade?
I sort of dig the idea of title or bust for this team. I don't believe it, but I dig that as your driving motion for the year. Unfortunately, CJ has not started off well shooting. He went 5-18 the first game, started the second game 0-4. So he's not really helping his team get there.
Yeah.
Maybe work on the shooting a little. No, I mean, like, this is a team that's been very good for a very long time. Like, they transitioned from the Dame and LaMarcus Aldridge days to Dame and CJ, and that worked way better than anyone expected. But they've been in the playoffs year over year over year over year.
And in 15-16, CJ was most improved player.
Correct.
And this team has been in the playoffs since 2013-2014.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the things is they've been there, they've seen the landscape change time over time, but they haven't been good enough. Just a little bit off. Last year they had their best run, I would say, in the playoffs, and left it all on the line. It was awesome. It was like the team. They were like the little engine that could. They were just, everyone was rooting for them for upsets because they were just the intriguing product. They had great stories. Dame is super relatable. CJ, great guy, and that's the thing is they're just likable personalities on the team. But to say that they are title or bust this year on day one, like that means something to me. That means that locker room is like, look, if we can't get there, what are we doing? What are we doing? Which means I don't know what the long term, like, both these guys are locked up. So what are you gonna do with this team?
And I get that with me, I get why CJ would say this, because look at this year in a microcosm.
Yeah.
The Warriors are down. We just talked about them. Like, I was the only one in our preseason predictions that picked the Warriors to still win the title, and that's probably a long shot from happening. You got guys like Charles Barkley saying that the window is closed for the Golden State Warriors and that they're not going to win this year. They're not even going to make the playoffs this year. So, like,
I said they wouldn't make playoffs this year, too. Thanks for giving me credit.
And Dave has said that as
I'm
well.
a legitimate media member.
Dave has said that. Well, I'll be honest. I can't remember who you had in or out in the Western Conference. All I remember is that you talked me into putting the Bulls in the playoffs. That's all I remember. And you almost talked me into not having the Pacers in the playoffs, which I backed off on.
Probably a smart move.
But when it comes to the West and the Blazers, you've got the Warriors who might have a down year. You have the Lakers that many people are asking, all right, this team has probably if we're grading it out of 5, a 5 when it comes to talent in LeBron or AD. But realistically, already after game 1, people are overreacting, saying, how are these two going to work? How is this team going to work if LeBron has to be the point guard and he's doing what he's doing, trying to get people involved? Dave over there, I'm calling this shit.
I know things about basketball. people. I'm the Portland Trailblazers.
The guy in the black don't know anything.
I'm the Portland Trailblazers of this podcast.
That would not work for this podcast, though.
Well,
the guy in the black.
You're right. We're both in black. Yeah.
Unless they say gray for you.
We both got gray, though. You got the rated R right on your chest.
So people actually have to learn our names for this. Oh, my God. Like, our names, Dave and Ricky.
Good luck.
Well,
Good
you're
luck
Dave, I'm Ricky. But I would have said Dave and Ricky and people would have thought I was Dave. But I look at it and it's like, really the only thing that you have to get past in the West, your biggest mountain that you have to climb, is if you play, let's say they do make it to the Western Conference Finals, you're going to have to play the Clippers. Can you beat the Clippers? And the thing that I kind of like, I don't want to say to CJ, no, you're wrong. Like, they can't win a title. I don't want to say that because there's a part of me that wants to, like, I know they're very different situations and different sports, but I wonder if this last year could be could it be the same catalyst to the Trailblazers that 2015 was to the Chicago Cubs?
Ugh.
Where, think about it. The Cubs before that year, laughing stock, barely made the playoffs, wild card team, and then run roughshod until they get swept by the Mets in the NLCS. Who the Mets
you were this close to competing for that series
to the Royals in the World Series that year, so they don't even win the ship. Trailblazers, they make the first round. We're writing them off right away because of the Pelicans that swept them the year before. Write them off. They go ahead and make a run to the Western Conference Finals. They get swept. And that team they get swept by loses in the finals. That's just a little coincidence. I don't think that plays into it at all. But could last year be a catalyst? They make it to the Western Conference Finals for the first time since, 1999, 2000, before Dame and CJ were even on this team. When Mike
just a little
Dunleavy,
bit before they were on this team.
Yeah, when Mike Dunleavy
I think CJ might have been like 12. Nope, younger.
Yeah.
They were young.
They were not on this team. It was before this era.
They might not have graduated high school.
Yeah,
basically.
They wouldn't have. Basically the question is, could last year in getting to the conference finals be a catalyst for this team? A driving motion of like, hey, we were so close last year. Like, yeah, we ran into the Warriors, but hey, we got swept by the Pelicans the round before and then bounced back the next year. So why can't we bounce back this year and make it to the finals? Could that happen for the Trailblazers?
Thanks. You opened up right into a yawn. I was like, I can't help it, man. Tired. Yes, but the Clippers.
Yes, I guess the Clippers are there. That's mountain.
Like, great. You went up against the Warriors last year, and you got lucky because not everybody was healthy.
And you still got swept.
You're gonna need that kind of help, but more to beat this Clippers team from what it looks like right now. I love you, Portland, but this team is not better than the Clippers. Period. This team is on the same level, I would say, as like the Lakers. I think you guys are in that second tier. It's the Clippers and it's everybody else. The Nuggets, the Lakers, you guys are all right there at the top of the West. And I believe in you.
And we're seeing the Clippers without Paul George. Just want to throw that out there again.
So here's the answer. You need to go ahead and have like Nasir Little just tackle the shit out of Paul George into Kawhi Leonard. And then, and only then, will you have a chance to win championship. And I hope that clip goes real well. I hope that ages real well. Because I can see like them just beating them. Like, I don't even have an answer.
You know what they have to do?
What's that?
They have to send Nasir Little to the school of Zaza Pachulia.
Ooh.
Because then he can take out Kawhi.
Yikes.
And then you win.
Yikes.
That's from a Warrior playbook right there. But looking back at, besides Sean, who hot-taked it, and before the season, Trailblazers title, which is, again, why this podcast, I was like, Sean, you had to miss this podcast. Like, this would have been the Sean.
They need wing help. We could just say it, though. Yeah. That's why he's mocking this. That's why everybody's,
because he had the Blake Griffin trade.
Yeah, he took my recycled trade, and he's like, Dave's a smart guy, but maybe I can reuse this over here, and people think I'm smart. No, Sean, that's not the way it works.
Which I will say, he mocked when you said Blake Griffin to the Celtics.
Yeah, and it would have been great. It would have worked.
I love how you throw
it's just
out
being a cunt about it.
Dave's a smart guy.
Seriously, Sean, I love you. You're basically like a little brother to me, but
dear friend of mine, Skip.
No, and the thing I hate is like everybody thinks they're the smartest man in the room when they realize Hassan Whiteside's only on a 1-year deal, and that's a lot of money. I bet you they could trade him for somebody worth a lot of money. Be on the lookout, guys. Low key.
But it can't be
Hassan
Bradley
Whiteside
Beal.
Might get traded.
Can't be Bradley Beal, though.
Yeah.
Like, because he can't get traded this year. But, like,
legally, he cannot.
Besides Sean, who had them going all the way, I had them lose to the Lakers in the preseason.
In the preseason? Wow, they are way...
The preseason predictions.
I was like, wait, you calling their preseason loss means their season's over?
No, you didn't let me finish. The preseason predictions. I had them as a first-round exit in our predictions. You also had them as first-round exit. Do you remember who you had them losing to? The Jazz. So you got the Jazz beating them.
I was real high on the Jazz having 5 great starters. But Mike Conley can't hit a shot to save his life to open the season.
But then you have the Jazz losing to the Clippers, which they probably would.
Yeah, everyone would.
Yeah, it's Dave's like, my champion is the Clippers.
You blindly put Clippers through. It's like the last 3 years of Warriors through. It was Warriors, Cavs, Warriors, Cavs, Warriors, Cavs.
Yeah.
Don't think, just take the obvious call in the NBA. Mm-hmm. It's going to happen 99% of the time.
I mean, but there is a part of me that I do like the... Oh, what's the word I'm looking for? Not motivation, but like, I don't want to say cockiness because I don't think it's like, I don't think it's blind cockiness, but I don't mind
it's
and I kind of like the bet on myself kind of thing.
Yeah, it 100% is, because to say it in the locker room is one thing, but to come out and publicly release a statement about it like he did is putting a target on your back. And every loss this season, every time CJ has a bad game, that shit's getting brought up and rubbed in his face by the media. So he knows he's going to have to try harder. He's going to have to try to win games every way he can, do everything he can. And I think that he and the team is 100% in on this. I don't think any one of them is not giving it their all, but it's just, it makes it that much, it adds that much of a magnifying glass to the Portland Trailblazers, which is great because they're a team who, like you said, outside of Portland, nobody gives us attention. Mm-hmm. And they've been a great team. They've been a playoff team since 2013, you're saying.
Yeah, 2013, 2014.
So, like, that's when it come down to it. It's just like, maybe this is his way of being like, ESPN, Fox Sports, put us on the map, give us some radio time, give us some TV time, pay us the respect that we're due, because all we do every year is win games. We get to the playoffs, and yes, we have not gotten over that hump, but they've had some terrible contracts in the past. They have an uneven roster. They just have this glut of guard talent, and they need wings. So it's kind of interesting that, this is the year he puts the mark down. It's like, we're going to do it.
So the thing I do want to mention is it's been killing me to look up who was on that 99-2000 Blazers team that made the conference finals.
Yeah.
Greg Anthony was on that team.
Yep.
Damon Stoudemire. You had Detlef Schrempf was there. Scottie Pippen was also there.
Of course he was.
Rasheed Wallace was on that team. Jermaine O'Neal was on that team.
Oh my God.
Daddy Sabonis was on that team.
Davidas I think Sabonis was like 52 by that point, though.
He was born in 1964.
Yeah, his best years were before he even came to the NBA. So
I just threw out Daddy Sabonis because we got DeMontis in the league.
I know, but I'm just saying, like, that man was an old man. He was still good, but like he was way,
and that was only his
his
fourth year in the league.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, it was a pretty good team, and they had like Scottie Pippen. That was the Scottie Pippen Trailblazers that made it that far. But like, I am intrigued to see what the Blazers are going to do. Like, that's one of the teams I want to fast forward to the playoffs because
What about the Brandon Roy, Greg Oden? They had a playoff run.
Did they?
Yeah, they won like.
I just
did
had
they
it pulled up.
both get hurt so often that they never got there? Now I feel like rubbing their face. I'm sorry.
So
I didn't mean it.
The playoffs since then, so since that 99-2000 season, they had 3 first-round exits in 01, 02, 03.
Okay, so it was all first round.
Yeah, they had 2 3-0 exits. Then the year it changed to the best of 7 in the first round, they took the Mavericks to seven games. Then Brandon Roy's rookie year, they did not. But his, third, fourth, and fifth year, they had 3 more first-round exits in the Brandon Roy, Greg Oden
I was going to
days.
say, Greg Oden, like, in his 2 years, I know they had ridiculous numbers. Like, they were on pace to be like a 60-plus win team.
In the playoffs, it'd be the 09 to 011 playoffs. They had 3 first-round exits.
Yeah.
Before
the first 2 years were basically him and Greg for a couple of games, and then
then they had the Dame days where Dame's rookie year, they didn't make it, but then ever since Dame's second year, they have been in the playoffs every single year. Any final thoughts on this?
Nope.
Or do you think we hit everything?
Underrated team, but even last year we didn't have them in the playoffs.
Underrated market, too.
We didn't have them in the playoffs last year.
No, we didn't.
We all were like, man, they got swept by this team. There's no way they're coming back. And then they came back. So now that they got swept again, it's like, I want to root for them.
Yeah,
now you got my attention.
I was super overreacting to that Blazer. Like, watching Rondo and Drew Holiday just dad dick them on defense. I was like, ugh.
Double Dame, forced CJ into doing everything, and Dame never came back from that.
Yeah, Dame,
but then the next
Dame
year,
time was not that time. Dame time was not that serious.
But he got it the next year. And that's what makes you want to root for him, is there's just incremental improvements across the board.
Plus, I mean, I'll be honest, the thing that this now does is I think those fans that have complained year after year, they're like, oh, the Warriors are always in the finals, and they don't want to be super, like, mainstream cheering for the Clippers. Those fans can back the Trailblazers as like a team.
Give California more teams.
Give me that underdog. Give California more teams. But let us know what you guys think down below in the comment section. Is this real? Is it just a hype? Not a hype thing, but motivation thing to kind of light a fire under the Trailblazers this year? What are your thoughts about CJ's comments about the title or bust season for the Portland Trailblazers in 2019-2020?